So, real quick, we need to get through my early dreams so that we could move on to other aspects. I guess this is really everything I did not get out in animations because animation takes too long, and this will be fast, which will set up the basis for how and why certain modes of thinking and certain areas of observation became visible to me that seemed to be ignored by everyone I ever talked to. I mean, since the playground and such. But and a distinction maybe I as a child fell in love with surrealism and developed that idea of automatic drawing and automatic writing, uh, and that is more of what this is than channeling, unless it is, because it's just, I mean, I'll tell you about her later. Anyways, really important dream that happened over and over and over again was my family at the beach. My whole family would be at the beach playing, and then a tsunami would come. I mean, I would see this wave coming, and the family wouldn't see it. I would see it, and then I would get everyone going at the last minute, and I mean, we are at the last minute. And once we are looking, towards the land, going inland, running inland, the wall that separates the sand from the parking areas um, was like 50 feet high, and the only doorway through was like 2 miles down, and then suddenly it would be, just a narrow walkway along the wall because the water had rushed on, and we would be walking down this path trying to get there before we died. And every time, I don't think we ever made it through that door in any of these dreams. But the importance of being overrun by water in the dreams is gonna reoccur in many, many dreams of the future. Now, what I realized today while I was sitting at work thinking of how could I never come back here again, I realized that I could start putting together a map of the dream world based upon my travels through it, and I think it would look really cool. So I might start working on that. Like a board game. It could be a board game of the dream realm. Anyways, what are the others? What are the others if we get through these dreams? Pause. Well, the dreams aren't manifesting now, but I would like to speak on the effect of this on me as a child and my uh, insecurity around people, and truly the shock that I had the first time I was unleashed onto a playground of people my age. um, I was horrified. I met one or two children before that, but they were terrifying, loud, rude, grab things, push, scream, and it was horrible. I was suddenly faced with a deep realization that not only was this not normal for me, but that I had a sense of normal that came from nothing I been witnessing recently. And so, what was that? Right? I mean, it was just like, well, what the heck is this? There's all this stuff that no one recognizes me or around me. And instantly, my mind began forming a dream universe of the lower playground. There was like 3-story playground of mounds in San Diego. These are probably Indian mounds. Who would know? Or Indian mounds. But all of these playgrounds began coming into my dream world, and I could not tell the difference most of the time. And on top of that, every day at school, like while we were in our little seats and sitting there and supposed to be being good and learning something, they would hand out a project, and I would look up from my desk and realize that people were almost finished with something, that the teacher had said something, that they had told us to do something, and yet I had no clue where I had been. I was suddenly there. And I honestly think this was a spirit keeping me away from certain things that would have confused me and made me even worse than it already ended up. The confusion. Every time I would look up from my desk, I had no clue what was going on. I had to have been somewhere. I had no clue. And then there's the flying dreams. Maybe I already went over a flying dream in an animation on one of them, on how I was taught how to fly. And I'll have to write some things down and then not say what I wrote again. Anyways, we're going to try and do this every day. Homataku.